Hello, hello. Good time of day, everyone. So, this is going to be a little bit of an odd stream as I have nothing really lined up because I didn't have time to think this week. Might be going over some things I want to do for later streams and maybe some other planning, and maybe I'll do that animation I've been putting off for that old Beatrice model. But without further ado, here I am. So, that working? Not working. As with most things, I put it into a spreadsheet. So, some things I have been wanting to do was, I guess you would call it advertisement. I had done a stream on that, aka little videos. Had done a stream on trying to come up with some lines for that. It was a much bigger commercial, I guess you would say. That's a thing to do. Fix up commission sheet. That's a thing to do. I'm utterly terrible at having that made, and there's 3 places I should be putting it, and found out I can't really use what I've been using on the Zwitter. The one that I'm probably most likely to go into is BD Animation. I know that I was thinking earlier this week was do I still have that up? 1 second. Yes, I do. So, let me go over here. There's nothing in there. Oh. I was thinking about doing a model of this, only because somebody had legitimately found out all the components of it to cosplay it, and that was kind of funny. But yeah, the Big Cat from Hololive, English. That... Alright. And, I had the idea of possibly doing a little coding series. Something not quite as grand as remaking Final Fantasy at the moment. Was more, Ghosts and Goblins. Kind of like I have experience making a ripoff of Ghosts and Goblins, or... What was the other one? But anyways, yeah, that was a thing on my list. Because I could just keep it to 3 levels and call it a day. I don't need to make the whole game... No. There's 2 games. Well, the series started out as something that became something else. 1 second, I'll look it up. It's mildly interesting. Because the NES game was not the SNES game. Yeah, it was Ghosts and Goblins, then it became Ghouls and Ghosts. Which was the SNES and, I want to say, the Genesis one. Yeah, Ghosts and Goblins was on the arcade, and I swear there was a NES version. Arc System Works worked on that? That's surprising. Yeah, it became Ghouls and Ghosts on the Genesis, or on the Sega system, it looks like. The Master System. But it's weird. Yeah, the Arthur ones. What were they? Maximo. Then a few years ago, they had Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection. Then it looks like they had a gacha. Yep. Of course they did. But yeah, it's notable for terrible, you know... Let me just extend this a little bit. Thing. Yeah, the Red Devil, where they literally Gargoyle Quest. They had a very interesting one for the SNES, which was just Demon's Crest. That's what it was. Let me just get a screenshot of it, because that was some good pixeling. It was very much a Metroidvania sort of game. Where, like, yeah, it's just this all the way through. But very weird history of those games. But I love replicating that stupid jump system because it amuses me. Okay, where was I? Ah, yes, I was here. Thing. Note. Good reasons to do. Reasons. That's good enough. Live 2D costs money every year. Live 2D costs money every year. I won't do it otherwise. Another mod. It'd be funny. Reasons not to do. Won't get it all today. Bad streaming. Short. Not too interesting. Short. It's not really much reason. Programming could take months. Could take... With that all set up, I might as well just do the BB animation. It's going to be short and I can move on to another one of those. So, with that decided... So let me just pull this out and see its resolution. So we have this 256 by 256, so I could basically just use the we'll say it half that size. Now what sort of scene do I want to put her in? I know when I did the other animation, it was in basically her starting screen room. I don't know what to do for this one. And I don't know if I should have other things. I mean, I could just steal the Biko I used for the other one. That'd probably actually be a good idea. Reuse that. Anything else I want to do? Well, let's put Grandma outside. Okay, so outside... give ourselves ground. Some sort of garden. Let's make these a little bigger. Sure. I was using kind of a messy style, so it should fit fine. Throw a little highlights on there and I think we'll be fine. Okay, let's just not have it be exact. And to put a little bit of shadow on there and texture, drop down a color. From a certain point, it should be like this. And above that, we will actually put in the texture. Nothing too amazing. Just little swoops. Could also be done the other way by just taking this and just, you know, circle and go woo, woohoo. But I like the little edges. Now, I guess I could put a tree in there to break it up. Put some sort of garden, maybe. Seems like a thing I could do. And then maybe some sort of outside table for tea. This is something I don't want to take 3 hours to do. Okay. So the top parts have to be round for the lighter color, or else it doesn't look like it's actually a top. It's like if I do this, it's like kind of fuzzy, but if I do this, like, oh, this is a chunk that's sticking out as some shadow. Not that I'm putting a lot of effort into here. This is just like literally background. Like, if I turn off the grid, it's like, oh, okay, I can tell what's going on. Nobody cares that it's pristine or not. It's literally like background characters. I know it comes up a lot where people will take the not so great like background characters that were probably drawn in like 5 minutes and like never got another pass over because it didn't matter to the scene, or the what some people have called animation errors, when it's like, no, it's just it wasn't important enough to warrant taking more time to put on that. When you have somebody who only has 200 hours of work, and you have the majority of that going to like main character action scenes or key background animations that aren't going to be on screen for, you know, a tenth or for a second. Yeah, you kind of have to choose your battles. Also, in animation, the rule is half the frames can be bad. -1. Half -1. And you can't start on a bad frame and you can't end on a bad frame. The light is up here. Now, if somebody were paying me for this, I'd probably take extra time, but alas, today is doing thing to do thing. I actually used to live by a place that kind of had hedges. They weren't technically hedges, they were just probably really malnutrition trees that were close to the ground. They formed a hedge. You could go inside it and it was kind of weird. By that I mean like... Oops. Good. The tree would go up like this, or the line of them. It was like that. And then, you know, it had all its branches. But the thing is, it didn't have any leaves on the inside. So you got this, well, it's basically a hedge like this. So all the inside was just like covered with like dead twigs and whatnot. But the actual outside of it had a very thin layer of leaves. I don't know, maybe they're all like that, but I just always found that kind of odd, like, oh, from the side. Hedge. But you crawl in through, like, the side because they had to, because they kept the trash can near there, I think it was. It's like, oh, you can literally just go in here and go through like a tunnel. Okay. Actually, this reminds me, I should look through my how to draw. Actually, I don't have the series name. It's kind of a cartoonist book of like, hey, you want to draw this? Here's the basics you need to know. And not the hand waving like, ooh, kind of is sort of, if you want to, you do this. It's like, no, here's a time-honored way to just do the thing. And I really appreciate it for just literally, here's the thing. Here's what you need to care about. Okay. I mean, we can't stop you from doing whatever you want to do, but hey, you came here for one thing. To actually be told how to do it. I got quite a few of them. I don't like that being just... I think they dropped another Kickstarter recently. I mean, that's their whole gimmick, is that they basically don't have a backlog and they just do Kickstarter after Kickstarter, which is kind of a method a lot of art book people sort of have done. Say what you will about it, but simplifies their advertising campaign. Yeah. As I said before, it's basically their advertising campaign. It's all in one. The thing now is, though, that like Indiegogo was the old thing. But the thing that's been really interesting to me is that, because yeah, pretty much. I would say that. Like, the only real successful ones have been the ones that were already done, and it's just advertisement. It's advertisement, and maybe we add features we weren't going to release. Those are probably the best ones. But, yeah. It's too much of a safety net for companies to work off of, because... what really happens when they're like they fail? not a lot, because that's how it's set up. I mean, I back more than a few. But it's mostly done like the Kickstarter itself doesn't. It's really the worst place to try and perpetually do that, because you're just throwing so much money away. Because Kickstarter takes its cut, the transfers take their cut, and all this other stuff. It's real messy, but people have found they can work in that, and they're all right with it, and just kind of live there. It's. But anyways, on that, Backer Kit, which only exists because Kickstarter kind of has a bad back end, is literally its own Kickstarter crowdfunding thing at this point. And it's hilarious to me. There's been a few that I've touched through there, but it's basically Eclipse Kickstarter. I mean, it hasn't, because Kickstarter's a well-known name, but people just cut out the middleman. But yeah, Kickstarter's kind of become a storefront event marketing thing, which is Well, that's all kind of what it was good for anyways. Okay, I put too much on there, so the grass. Let's choose this color. This would be good. Some have like literal late back things. I got some dice from a campaign that I didn't know was dead, but I went in there like, okay, I'll late back it. I guess I'll get this in 2 months or like 2 years, but I got it next week, and I was like, oh, that was interesting. Okay, so I have that. Flowers. Bunch of red roses. I don't really need to define them that much. I will be going back in here so the edges can get some actual things. And some blue roses. Yeah, maybe just red and white. Yeah. Unless I want to go... Yeah. Black roses are actually a thing. Blue roses, I think you make them, but... Right? It's just... Storefronts are really weird now. I mean, everybody wants to be the next Steam or the next Amazon, but the problem is that the original exists, and the original has a lot of momentum on it, for good or bad. Steam's alright, well, you can have your gripes about it. Then you have Amazon, which is not alright in the slightest. It's real. Amazon's history is just hilarious, too. Because it was supposed to be just a bookstore. Oh, that's sad. Speaking of things that just appeared out of nowhere, Oblivion remake. I'm getting the silhouette for these. There's not much I can say. I might not even get too much on there. That just came out of left field. Isn't that using the Unreal Engine? Like, it's not using the Creator Engine as far as I know. That's the real surprising part. It almost feels like they were doing some tech... Huh. Very interesting. It almost feels like that other company came up, look, hey, look, we remade Oblivion in Unreal. Do you want to hire us for everything? Okay, how do I want to do this? I probably want to put some, you know, vines down here. I probably want to make it neater. Let's cut it off at this point. Whoops, wrong thing. Let's do some bramble. Yeah, maybe, but I mean, at this point, Bethesda's whole thing is just remaking the same thing over and over again. It's in their wheelhouse. So I don't know why they didn't advertise it. But I do know people are, like, making Unreal Daggerfall, so... Real weird. I've seen there's plenty of jank in it. I don't think they really fixed a lot of stuff. There's a lot of people excited for it. I know it's getting a lot of play because, hey, it's Elder Scroll game. It's the one I haven't played since... It's the ones I haven't played since I only got in on, you know, Skyrim. Cool. I mean, I have no interest in it, but I've never really had interest in, those sort of open world things. Ah, yes. Actually, I had, because I've been looking into some AI stuff about how they do the procedural things. Well, I say AI, but I mean, like, literally planner AI in-game. And yeah, that... As someone put it... The Oblivion feels like it was made by an alien trying to replicate what they think normal humans would work like. Yeah. Like it's so uncannily close. To what you would expect, but it kind of hits the mark until you actually look at it. Then it's a bit confusing and concerning. Might want to actually, like, cut this by half, too. Yeah. Yeah, I see. Also, I heard that they put the mountain from Skyrim in the game. Like, you can't go to that mountain. But if you, like, go to the edge of the map, you can see the throat of the world. It makes sense, and that's just... I haven't watched anyone because I have literally no interest in watching people. I have a weird relationship with those Elder Scroll games because I have no interest in playing them, really no interest in watching people play them. But the technology, these setups behind them, I am fascinated by. Because there's a lot of just technique in, like, how do we cope with this? How do we make the NPCs, like, you know, be lively? How do we do all this? That's interesting to me. A person fumbling around not knowing what to do for, like, 4 hours and fighting 5 bandits is not so much. Like, speedruns. Like, my thing, I always like a speedrun or a challenge run that's condensed down or has the person actually talk about it. Like, I try to do this while I stream, but I'm not very good at it. Is keep on topic. Like, the topic right now is like, I'm just trying to put vines and fake leaves on here. Not much more to see. Maybe it's I don't like doing that. I really don't like watching people do that. I like seeing people who know what they're doing or, like, have an idea of what they're doing and, like, here's the plan. Here's the execution. Oh no, I ran into a problem. Here's how I got around the problem. Oh yeah, that's my jam. I mean, I watch more people curated, like, challenge run content than actual people playing through games content at this point. Because I like them explaining the systems. I like them explaining the exploits of the systems because it gets me thinking on things. That's primarily why I do it. I mean, if the person is entertaining enough and it's a game I like, I do watch Let's Plays or the streams. Or like, hey, here's a new game. Nobody knows anything about it. I'll check that out. But, like, old game you have no interest in. It's a real... It's a real sort of like, I'm not sure on it. Some of the stupidest ones is like, you know how so many games have a run mechanic and that it seems integral to the game? Most games you can beat without it. It's, I think, for balance reasons. But like, even horror games, it's hilarious how many have a run mechanic, and then you can find out that the run mechanic is not actually needed. Some of it requires you to know the game, but a lot of it is just for balance reasons that, like, I'm guessing when they made the scenarios, they don't expect you to run all the time, and therefore can't expect you to be constantly running in some of them. I mean, like, there's games where, like, yeah, you're kind of required. Um, yes, there was a Resident Evil speedrun without running. I mean, I've seen this in all other games, like, uh, it was Security Breach, FNAF Security Breach, where running is very much required. You think until you actually do it, and no, there's some places where, yeah, you would have done better if you could run, but there's like 2 areas that kind of quasi-required, unless you do a little bit of glitchery. But 7 was just like, surprisingly, running was not, yeah, it was not needed at all. It would have made the game, you know, better, but you just saunter through Resident Evil 7 without even needing to run until the end game, because you're kind of expected to run against, like, a wind tunnel, effectively. Okay, now let's see, how do I want to do this? So what I'm probably going to need to do is have a... Yeah, it really is. It's a cutscene boss. It's literally a cutscene boss. But you need to run to interact with it. Okay, so I'm just going to do a decision and make anything down here just red so I can keep this sane and, like, not have to bother with this. Yes, I'm missing some of them. Who cares? Not even me. And then I can go and start putting in, like, these, which I can then overlap with the normal highlight to make it look like there's, like, petals going on. Now, I kind of talked about how I do petals before, but this doesn't need that detail. I think it's just coincidence and just how they made the game. As I said, like, running, they don't expect you to always be running. Because, well, stamina, all that, yada yada. And just like, you know, sometimes players are not the brightest. And maybe are actually trying to play the game like, oh, I'm not going to bunny hop everywhere. And I think it's just an accidental, oh, it actually worked. And yeah, it's possible that it didn't have any running in the beginning. Because honestly, people don't like to admit it, but running in video games is very silly. Like, you know, when they figure out how fast Doom Guy actually runs. Yeah. Also, Resident Evil 7 had a mechanic I didn't know about, where if you off-screen the molded, they just despawn. So you could spawn them in the room, then walk off, and then it'll despawn, and then you could just walk through the room. Absolutely silly. Let's get the lip up here, too. Oh, that, I think that's almost more of a bug, and just like, oh, we can't have these guys be on like an object sitting there forever, so let's despawn them, and it feels like they forgot to re-enable their spawn trigger. So yeah. But yeah, like, Security Breach also then had, I've seen a guy do a bunch of stupid runs with it. Well, it was in its heyday, it was his playground, because the game is so broken, it's a sandbox game. And I forgot what reason he had to, but he had to get a physics object to give him enough height to do something. So he's literally just playing with like this one box, hoping it like flips up right. Very silly. Like, it got a female name in his stream. And to this day, every once in a while, there'll be a reference to Lydia or something. Or a Lydia situation. Very silly what happens. And now I'm just going to put some more mildly detailed ones. I don't know if I gift it to you. It's possible. I mean, like, when I get a bad idea, I generally send it over to you. But, yeah, that's one. I have not seen anybody run it. That's another one. I think unironically, because I just didn't want... Because it was in Japanese, VA, I think, for HoloLive, because they didn't get the rights to do the English VA. I'm like, eh. I think 8 might actually be better than 7. Because if... Resident Evil 7... Resident Evil 7 was a glorified tech demo of Kitchen. Like, it was a game that wasn't made to be a Resident Evil game. It's like reverse Devil May Cry. And so 8 is actually leaning into making it be a game, and they had more, you know, ideas of what they can do with the engine. Like, the only real thing I know is, like, kind of the ending, kind of, sort of, maybe, but I'm not deep into it. Also the fat guy, the Duke. And, like, he has a twist on there that I've seen, like, as a joke. But, yeah. It's also one of those dad games, because you're going after your daughter. Has there been any inklings about what Resident Evil 9 is going to be? I don't know if I remember hearing anything about that or not. It's Capcom, so maybe they just killed the series. Oh, no, that'd be Konami. Well, Capcom's just as bad. Okay, I think I'm over-detailing. How does it look from 100 without grid lines? Yeah, there's something going on back there. Do we really care? No. Yeah, just keep it contiguous. It looks kind of weird without that. Okay, so drop... Well, generally how games work is that, you know, they have a team, and the team just kind of, like, you know, sits and does work. In Western companies, it's more like they yell at each other and try to figure out what's going on until, like, they, you know, make the game in 8 months. I don't know about Japanese teams, but I assume they just put their head down and just do work. Yeah, Resident Evil 5 would be, would be a thing to remake. 2 was like really a gold standard for remakes. The problem is that I think nobody liked what they did with 3. Like, it happened, but nobody was excited, and like, I think they kind of ruined the Nemesis system for it. No, what was it? They made the areas like too big or something? Ah, okay, they did some cutting. I just remember, like, people were really disappointed in it. I don't know, I never played any of them. I was playing through 0 a little bit, but, yeah, well, it's me. I don't quite finish games or even get that far in them unless they are literally something you can pop on for 5 minutes and you win or lose, like, okay. Which is goblins, or no, gnomes. Gnomes and Bellatrix are still coming up every now and again, and for me. Oh, wow. That's a shame. I remember 4 got some love, if only because of, oh, what's her name? The President's Daughter, the mouse version of it. Which was a silly little meme that came about. Five, I don't think they'll be able to do in today's climate. It's a Japanese company, but it's like... Yeah. Anyways, back to... Like, Resident Evil, I can't accept Resident Evil without an English dub. If it's a bad English dub, that's even better. Because it's supposed to be a campy game. But yeah. So I didn't watch the Hololive Girls play 8 because they didn't have the rights to it, which is just weird, but hey, they didn't have the perms. And nobody else I was watching or wanted to watch go through it. Yeah, it was in Japanese. They didn't have the permissions to use the English dub. It was a weird situation. Like, it's like Dark Souls or Demon Souls. They specifically have an English dubbing even in the Japanese one. Yeah. That's the other thing I know about. I don't even know how integral that is or how long it is, but it's weird. But it's Capcom. Like, Ina played 7 and couldn't show the ending. And it's hilarious because, like, so Chris Redfield shows up in the ending and she's like, huh? Who's Chris? She's never played Resident Evil games before. Yeah, that's a little off. I think she did play the, a little bit of the DLC for 7, where you get to play as Chris. Alright, because, unironically, the meme became reality because Chris has Chris Punch in the little DLC side story of 7. Oh, yeah, yeah. Don't stream the ending. Like it's I can understand that to a degree because they're thinking there's. Yeah, that's. I don't know how they do that. Because you know some mad lad is going to do a speed run of it. They're going to do a speed run of 100 endings. And it's going to be on the really, really long-a-thon. Or something similar. They're going to figure out how to do the proper saves, how to do all these other things, and then like have split off points to do all 100 endings. It's going to happen, and it's going to be glorious. And I will sit there, and I will put it on my background, and I will have it up for like the 40 hours it's going to take. I miss that the really long-a-thon doesn't do Baten Kaitos in the background. I think they managed to do it recently, but it's largely the meme is dead. Long live the meme. But yeah, my main introduction to like multiple ending games was Star Ocean Second Story, which wasn't so much as, you know, multiple endings as like little variants on it, depending on your affection meter with other characters. I will always remember that because I think if you do it right, the main girl and guy actually have a kid together, which was kind of surprising for me back in Z-Day. Because, like, it's... Well, the thing that happens with, basically, they had, like, little skits for every character, depending on their relationship level with you. Like, the general kind of dating sim affection. And some choices were, like, the game had, had Boolean. Like, you can only have this character if you did this thing, but you can't have this other character. So there's some with that going on, but basically little skits and like little extra or no extra on it. The only thing I can think of the West that I've encountered later was, what was that steampunk fantasy game? The one with the gnomes and the half-orcs and the beauty stat. It starts with an A. Arkham? Or Arcanum? Either way. Because I had a friend that was obsessed with that game and played it a lot. And got through it quite a few times. And the reoccurring thing that I've even seen today... I think that's it. Arcanum? The thing I see on the internet, because nobody like knew at the time or figured it out, was that Betsy's farm always was haunted. Because it seemed like the weirdest thing to include. But in the ending, no matter what people did, it was like, Betsy's farm was still haunted to this day. It's like, that was a major plot point? And people didn't know how to figure it out. Like, cause people just, like, didn't go back and, like, find the dead body and do Speak to Dead, which was kind of a major thing in that game. Or do the other stuff to figure out who murdered her or something. So it was always like, Betsy's farm remains haunted. And then, you know, your other piecemeal ending games, which I do like. I think there should be, like, more variance, but that's me. But if you want to have lots of endings, and endings actually mean something, have it be with, like, pieces of the journey that you did or didn't do. And just, like, have them come together at the end. It makes perfect sense to me. But Betsy's farm remains haunted. New Vegas was a real labor of love. And it was a real time-crunched labor of love. And I will never forget an interview of, like, how do you make quests in the game? Or, like, how do you make sure they all work? Well, you see, I went to the scenario team and I said, we can't do it like that, because what if the player kills the person? It's like, who would kill this person? Just assume that the player character has a flamethrower on his head, and it will randomly go off at any moment. Make sure that all the quests survive in some fashion to be completable. But because they kept asking, like, why would a player do this if they got in this? It's like, no, don't think logically. The player has a flamethrower. They'll randomly kill the NPC as they're talking to them. How does the game cope? And that's why you got the Yes Men ending. Because of the omnipotent flamethrower that will kill every NPC that the player encounters at any time, at any place. So the Yes Men ending is the ultimate default to the player just like, I don't like any of these characters. I'm just going to kill him and see what he has for items. But you can still complete the game. I don't even think like Fallout 2 or 1 kind of had that. Well, no, I think, well, technically you don't need to do anything. Okay, I'm wrong. You don't need to do anything in Fallout 1 or 2 besides like 2 key pieces. And they're just get to location and do thing. Usually kill somebody. I still need to actually try Cyberpunk. This machine should be able to handle it. I don't know, play it for a week and then say I've touched it enough. Do I have enough? I should have enough room to be able to download it. Okay, that's enough of something. Oh boy. Just be, always being wanted by the police. That's a thing. Yeah. I assume it's kind of like GTA and like you'll fall off, the heat will go away, because that's always a thing in Cyberpunk RPGs, is like heat's supposed to be a very major thing. Like, it even shows up in Cities Without Numbers as a very tactile mechanic of, like, what should be going on and how to shed the heat. I mean, I say tactile as you can play with it. Like, hey, if you're at this level, if you do this thing, like, the cops will just kind of, like, brush it under the rug because, you know, everybody's corrupt in this game. Yeah. Like, everything falls off because it's like we have other things to worry about is the thing. If you cut it, it's like we don't have resources to put to, like, chasing the one mass murderer. It's like, he's disappeared. If he pops up again, sure. But like, dude, there's somebody who just had their wife killed. Could you spare some time for that one? Well, GTA was ostensibly always an arcade game. Like, how it's set up, it was very arcadey. If you ever played the 2D ones, I've only, like, touched one way after its heyday, and it was very interesting to see where it came from. This might be a little too much. What I'll do instead is just go up a little bit. I mean, you could just travel to London. It'll be the same thing. Boop, boop. I wasn't joking. That's a little too much. Okay, we'll just keep it like that. That's fine. So we have this. Maybe let's throw some clouds, because clouds are always good. There we go. Happy little cloud. Okay, that became less of a hedge and more of trees, but that's fine. I just needed something to break up the background, so we stick her like right here. Yeah, that's good enough. Okay, let me cover this up for a second so that I can save this out and do the magic things. Save as. Boop. Storage animation. No, model animation. That's where I keep all these. Old BB. Old BB. Okay, save that out. Export it as a Photoshop document. Bop, bop. Actually, give me a second. I will be right back. 1 second. Alright, back. Speaking on Cyberpunk, because Shadowrun, which was one of the... I guess it kind of still is one of the major things. The only other one competing on a large scale, which would be, unironically, Cyberpunk. Only because the anime and the game came out, and that seems to got it some more traction, but Shadowrun... Okay, I got this saved out. Shadowrun had made a new edition, but they really screwed up the rules on it. It was a real bad launch, but their parent company was doing some things for it. In some ways, yes. I'd have to take a look more on the rules set. Shadowrun has always been the joke of you roll a million dice because it uses a dice pool. I don't remember off the top of my head what Cyberpunk was. Yeah, I know. It's been a while, but I bring it up only because of the interesting thing is that Shadowrun kind of has a meta plot going on. Because they do adventure paths effectively and like events for it and yada yada, and like they had a little bit of that going on in 5th edition, but their 6th edition there was hints at attempting to do something with sorry, let me get into this and actually get this into live 2D. Okay, got it up. And they were kind of hinting at a shift that they wanted to do as a narrative of exoware instead of like internal cyberware. Like kind of as a narrative response, because hey, if we can kind of figure out if we can have it so that the civilians are only supposed to have obvious exoware, that makes our job a lot easier. And that was kind of an interesting thing. I mean, I don't think it went anywhere because I haven't kept up, to be honest, in that edition since I learned that they, like, people didn't even know some of the rules. I think 5th had a bit of that problem in the beginning, but they fixed it up. There we go. Wait, was that the right one? Yeah, I'll find out in a second. Where it kind of expected you to know the old edition of the rules because they forgot to put reminders of how the rules are supposed to work. And then they just did some weird things. I think one of the things they did was they completely reworked how Edge worked. Yeah, I loaded the wrong one. 1 second. One thing I'm not quite happy with Live 2, yeah, there we go, is that I have the old version on here still, because when you update, it just installs a fresh new thing, and I have to figure out how to install it under Windows 11. Anyways, once I resize this, I will get BBs in here, and then I will see about trying to make an animation. Cancel. Don't care. Okay, how does this look on screen? Let's move you over a little bit. Okay. Export this so that the Photoshop documents is not doing weird stuff, and drop that right in. But yeah, I don't know how big of a community the whole without whatever is. I mean, I buy it for the glorious tables and ability to shoehorn into any other system. The fact that it has like compatible OSR with each other is kind of neat. Okay, so we have this. Let's just save. Well, once again, save you out. You actually need to save stuff out in order to be able to work with it. It's kind of a weird little thing, but hey, I'm not going to complain too much on that because old BB, save in there. Okay. So we have this, and in order to properly do animation stuff, we need to have the other model open. Open recent. I call them both old BB. Well, okay. Anyways, it's not going to matter because they're going to... New animation? Yep. Okay, we have this. I do gamer size. Okay. Now that we have that, let's put this up. First, we drag... Nope, that's the wrong one. Drag this in. Then we drag this in. We fix the size on this. It needs to be 200 by 200. Then we don't need to care about anything about it. Now we just need to figure out what we're doing in BB. I'm thinking about 20. I'm thinking about 40. Hmm, 55. She has central focus on here. Okay, now what do we want to do with this? I mean, like, I was going to kind of have her nodding off, then look at the screen, and then, you know, like, nod off again. So, boop, boop. Don't need to touch any of that. Okay, so left eye closed on there. Let's start with head down. So I would go face angle. And then the other question is, how long do we want this scene to last? 3 seconds. No, let's go with like 10, and then we could cut from there. Do this weird stuff that I don't like, where you just have to drag everything out because some reason it's a thing. Okay. I don't think I have a breathing thing on here. Let's say every about half second goes up to here and then goes down to here. We do that a few... Oops. Undo that. Okay, how does that look in here as a... Maybe not that high. Okay, so we go about like here. Whoops, nope. There we go. Okay. Copy this and like do that 3 times. Rule of threes is always a good one. Okay. How does that look? Okay. And then, like, wait at that. Wait a little bit longer for impact, so full second. And then head can come all the way up here. Eyes can open slowly from like about the halfway mark. So we will put eye left close, eye right close. We'll have it fully open. Maybe blink a little bit. Have that. Let's have her look around a little bit. I know I'm very much going on the seconds, but... And then we'll have her wave a little bit, because I do have that in the cane. Body... was it? Oh, yeah, okay. I didn't actually have derived as I thought it. Okay, let's go all the way back here. Put this at 0. And we could go all the way over here. So, have the body remain at this. We'll say about at this point, it's at full raise, and we can do the waving stuff. Have that sit there too. Have that move over. And have it go back slightly before settling here. And then we can have her nod off again, and that'll be fine. Okay, so back at this point, she steps forward. As she does the whole wave thing, so this goes up, and this goes out. And then return to center. And then we have her fade off, and then we can close this up to about that point. So, okay. A little after that, I will set eyes to open here, and then take a whole second for them to go down here. Half open, halfway through that, about. And then close again. Then we'll have... oh wait, should have had head go up to the expected spot. And then we'll slowly go down to about this 8, where head slumps. Okay. Zoom all the way back. Let's see how this goes. That's a little too fast. Okay. So that's all in this bit. I think we could fix most of this by just making it take longer. And that's mostly in here, so I say extend this to like about 7. Old, no sudden moves. Pull this out to like right about here. And this stuff can be pulled out to about 8. So the nodding's fine. Yeah, the little back and forth at the end. I can actually tighten that up a little bit because it seemed like a bit long of a step. Maybe about here. The return to center is a little fast. Let's move that like right about here. Okay. Yeah, that's uncoordinated now. I need to fix that. The mouse, I think, should be like doing... Maybe I could fix this one by just having that happen here. Stretching that out a little bit. I think I have to have her mouth open too, but let's get the actual normal movements. I think that back step is just looking real awkward. I might have to just take that out. Move this back here. Feel this is a little too slow now. That should probably come out earlier. So let's move this to about half and have this happen on the half. Try to keep it punchy, but she can't move as fast as the other ones. Also, that head movement is a little too snappy. Where does that happen? Right there. So, head angle, yeah, okay. Move that out. Here, how does that look? The head bumps up and down. One thing I'm not playing with is doing overshooting in this, which might help it. I.e., like, when I get to this point where it goes all the way out, just immediately bring it back as per overshoot. 'Cause that's a thing people do. Is that they overshoot it and then they readjust. It's a thing that they do with animatronics, mostly the Disneyland ones. Well, the loop is fine, it's just some other portions of it. Yeah, that's a little bit odd. The whole step here just... That's a little better to me. Let me watch it a few times and see. I mean, a thing I should also possibly be doing is rigging up things to be on a curve, because a lot of my actions is very, very smooth, which might work for captured people, because, I mean, like, they're regulating it and they're turning their own heads. But we're dealing with spheres, so everything moves fast and then kind of slow. Yeah, that little head thing. I mean, I could just drop it, but I want to show that the head can move. Maybe if I just decrease how far it goes out, I'll be happier with it. Like, maybe it only needs to go this much. And then we kill that. Okay. I mostly want that so that it shakes the head, or shakes the hair a little bit. Okay, that's looking fine. So, middle of this little wiggle, I want there to be a mouth open. So, let's go down there. Mouth closed. Height of this, mouth open. Go here for a second. Jump back up to open. And close. Now I'm not sure if I messed up the body X. Yes, I did. Okay, I need to reset the body X because it's messed up over here. Yep, it's just very slightly off, so let's put that to here. Body Y can jump down there too, and I don't think there's anything else. So let's bake in the animation from physics. Bop bop. Alright, a little bit more acting might be having, like, when the eyes open and it looks to the left, it can look to the right. And then when it does the little wave thing, that can be... Then look at you. Okay. See how off that is? It's probably going to be a little quick. Yeah, just as I thought, a little quick. Can I space this out a little bit more? The alternative is to have it be more subtle and not go as far. But it might be good enough as a little thing. Don't think I'm getting much better. One thing I kind of... You probably can. I wish I could, like, puppet it a little bit, but I don't think it'd be that great, even with me puppeting it. I don't have the best setup. I say... I think I'll decrease the eye to the left, and that will make me feel slightly better, because it just kind of like goes all the way to the left, which makes it seem faster and less Ildery, I guess you could say. Yeah, that goes all the way here. So if we just have it go like slightly, it'll seem slower. But there's enough there that you say, like, oh, if you look left, if you look right. I think I should have a little bit of head bob before it loops. Just a little bit of go back up before return to head. Be sleepy. Nope. It seems a little rough. I think, is that on the transition or is that on the little bit I did? That's on the little bit I did. Okay. Let's have it be like right about there. How does that feel? Okay, much better. So, what to do next on there? I think this might be just a ship it one. 1 second. I'm going to block. Bop. Hit magic save button. Okay, that's fine. Old BB Garden save. Okay, and I can export this as a GIF, as per usual. Bop. Old BB in Garden. Save. Save. And now we get to watch it render. How exciting. Actually, you can't see it rendering. But the physics are in there. Most of the stuff being showed off is in there. Okay, there it is. I'll post that up later. But with that sucker's done. So let me close out of Live 2D. Now then, what does my sheet say? Well, we'll mark that as green. What more could I do? Just a little bit more. I can't... Oh, there it is. I've recently got to play with Excel again in the actual version, so I've completely forgotten how to use OpenOffice, so... So that's done. What would be the next thing on here? I mean, I could technically do commission fix-up. Sure, why not? I'm not doing much else. It'll get me things to think on and stuff to do. So, the only good place I have it is sitting on my Twitter, because I am strange and odd, and I don't even know if I have this original image anymore. I've really info dumped on here, but the categories are full pixel VTuber model and rigging, simplified pixel VTuber model and rigging, which I mean I could technically put in there. It's the difference between... This one would be more of a simplified one. It's kind of not as well polished, but I really thought more for, like, you know, the end novels where they actually have the changes, where that could be a thing. Half bottle, or half bottle. Nope, half body, very simple. I mean, technically, these could all be the same thing. Then I have pixel art. I don't know why anyone would really want that, but hey. Offer it up. And emotes. And that was currently what I have offered on here. That's what I have. How would it be the best way to show that off is the question. Most of my stuff is basically fan art, which is not the most one I would want to put up out there, but it is a thing. Technically, I have one model running in the wild that I made on a lark. But I don't have anything that is... Actually, that could be next week. I could play the whole roll-up of VTuber again. I have the proper book to pull down now instead of just going off PDFs, so that might be a thing for next week. I have my... I'm not even sure if I have all the models I had for the original thing. As I said, this wouldn't be a thing to really stream. Let me just update this. Comms and possible... It has come up that maybe I should possibly do shorts or something, which would require me listening to myself and watching my own stuff, which I'm not the most audience. As I said before, my whole streaming thing is to keep me going on and working with Live 2D and such, and seeing behind the scenes and what is needed, not so much as I think I'm actually entertaining and such. What I could cut out of there is some of the various things, but also, as been stated, YouTube is more of a permanent platform, so actually having edited content would be good for it. As I said before, I wanted to make the advertisement videos of, you know, Scribble in the Moonlight's VTuber and Skinsuit Emporium, which I've sadly lost the original background I was going to use for that on the other rig, which is a blow to the whole thing. I have one of the, well, that would mean, that'd require somebody watching, and I don't think male VTubers, or whatever the heck I am, would be on their radar for that anyways. Usually, yeah, bye for a male VTuber is, they don't exist anymore. Going forward, could probably just simplify this into and have little categories underneath it. Which, technically, Ping VTuber model. PingTuber. Technically fits in all this category. Emotes and pixel art are ancillary, but there's something. Huma. So, one thing I had, because I had the skit before, was like, hey, back alley, you want a kind of weird model or one really fast? I can do that for you. Actually, do I still have it? The back alley scrib. I think that would have been in my old setup. So... Sorry, I'm looking at file structure, which is a terrible thing to do. No, I don't think I have the trench coat one anymore. I mean, it's not hard to make. Let me actually... Because the idea is basically, you know, back alley, trash can and whatever, and then a scrib in a trench coat. Most terrifying thing you could think of. And you have trench coat open with all the offers of simple models that you could use because, hey, your model is too high quality for this for this series of games you're using. Why not get a little pixel model instead? You know, have a few in pockets. Then maybe show a few of them off and then cut to whatever I use for the outro for the Scribble in the Moonlight VTuber Skinsuit and VTuber and Skinsuit Emporium. That was one little video idea I had. I never got to because, well, I lost all the stuff. Like, technically, I was going to have it all be in one giant thing. But doing a few different ones might work. And I was also thinking of having a Skeb one where I just have a truly monstrous thing. Where, you know, Skeb being, you give idea, you have very little input on what you get back, but having that as, you know, a full stack, here's a VTuber model of that. I mean, how would I go with that? How would I go with selling that idea? You like Skebs? You like the gotcha of Skebs? Now have that. With VTuber model. You know, have this open and have some thing in there. And like, you know. Wow. Probably could actually use scrib in there. And then have the listing out here of prices, terms, and conditions. And then, you know, the Scribble in the Dark Scribsuit Emporium. Which is always at night and always has a... Man, I really said Did I lose it or not? Because I was in the process of separating my stuff out for saving, and then, you know, the computer died. It was a background. It was an animated background, though. So it isn't in this. Yeah, I showed it off, but the video, I think, is dead. Or, I mean, like, the actual files I have for it is dead. It's not like I can't remake it. I can remake it better now, probably. Oh, yeah, I lost quite a bit of, like, all the stuff I was going to use for trying to advertise commissions and such. Like, the whole video idea, that was my main break into, because I haven't seen anyone ever do that. I mean, maybe it's a little begging on, like, throwing it on the and VTuber tag or whatever, I don't know, but... Oh, no, I do still have the Skinsuit Salesman. I don't think that's the one I was talking about, though. Let me pop it open. Oh, yeah, no, this isn't the one I was thinking of, and I should probably remake that anyways, because that doesn't look very quality at this point. Under the portfolios, I have the cat girl and the one elf. And the maid demon, I still have that. Sorry, I'm looking through a few of these things. Yeah, I think I lost that one, but I had made an animation of it, so it was technically live 2D for a minute, but that's not hard to remake. Boop, 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 boop. Yep. It is a loss. Anyways, not quite, well, I'll go up on this. So, these two kind of in my wheelhouse, and like, you know, hey, I'm not sure how to best show off, like, you know, a full model. I mean, one idea I've had, this was for, like, you know, the cheap, weird ones. One thing I had was, like, you know, very high resolution scrib and, like, you know, big fake RPG in background. And go, like, hey, are you a little too high res? You know, have, like, the model blacked out. And then, like, show it and, like, hey, get your very own pixel model in some amount of time, and then you go over to, like, the end credits screen. Keep them small, mostly because I don't want to animate it all. But, yeah. I don't have to be too elaborate, but that's something I can do. I really do need to make the commission sheet, but I have no idea what to put on it. I mean, I can simplify it and just put the numbers on there, but I don't know. I always feel like I'm doing it wrong. I mean, I would think it's simple, but everybody's afraid you're going to get scammed. So I want to lay out exactly what I plan to do, but then it's a wall of text and nobody wants to read it. Also, there's no trust on my end. I'm not verified by anyone. Nobody's worked with me, so I'm a complete unknown in that condition, and just trying to lay it out, it's like, oh, maybe that makes me look more sketchy. I don't know. I'm not unable to understand from the buyer's end of things, which is a real problem. And I would want to avoid just, like, doing model raffles, which seems to be what some people do, because that doesn't seem sustainable in long term. You're doing full work for throwing it out to people, or you're throwing out an offer to do someone's for basically as a raffle for free, and I don't know, does anything really come from that? I just need a cheap thing that people would want, because if I remember, what is her name? It's somebody that I watch occasionally. I think she's actually on my YouTube thing. Let me just take a look. Riat Cookie Box? I think she had a story of doing pataroos for like 25 people. Or like over... No, I think it was actually like 50 people that she just crammed into a whole month of doing and sending them out. Or like actual models. Well, I have no base. I'm effectively hobbyist that is only vaguely known in two communities. One, because I kind of sit on a Discord. But humma. I do really think I should at least try doing this first because I've had this idea of making the little... Yeah, that's... One joke I wanted to have in one of these, in one of the cheaper end ones, is like, hey, you could get this for the price of a combo. Note that it may no longer be the price of a combo, because unironically buying a combo meal at like McDonald's is like $25, is like $20 to $25. It's getting up there that like even $100 game isn't that much anymore compared to it, even with the prices rising. It's just like it's too overindulgent combo meals, but yeah. Anyway, that's something for me to chew on. I'm kind of running out of steam without having this, and I don't think I want to fully go into doing the animation for this, though. That might be funny. I don't have the 2 hours in me, and I need to get a few other things done. Maybe for next week, as I do have kind of a base. So, I'd like to thank you for showing up. And until next time, have a good time of day. I mean, like, I don't need to show my account anymore. It's up in that corner. Not tracking it. Look up. Wait, did I not have a lookup on this model? No, I didn't. The only time I needed a lookup, I don't put it on the model. Yeah, up there. Yeah, I put in tilts. I put in look left and look right. I did the more advanced eye blink because, you know what? Actually, let me go and open this. If only because it's a little interesting. So Live 2D, open up. Because script models I do literally in 15 to 20 minutes. I usually put a look up. I usually put a look up. I do the full look in left, right, up, down. I mean, like, these are relatively fast. But yeah, this is, actually, showing an A sprite would probably be a better one. Let me do that real quick. I mean, the look up on these is not advanced. The look up is that, hey, I have, like, the body, and the eyes are here. So a look up is literally just slide these up and do a bit of perspective of shrinking the tops of the eyes and like going down. It's not that bad. It's not the most work. It's just I didn't put it in this one because it's like, oh, I don't need it. And the only time I don't need it, I have the gimmick of I want to look up at the actual thing. Anyways, let me just pull it open. Models, scrib models, TV scrib. I think this should open in the right one. But yeah. This one is funny because I wanted to put it in the TV screen, but I needed to have a little bit more down here, and I should have actually gone to the bottom because I ran into that stuff. But all I have on these eyes is open and closed, and it's a technique I've been using for a while now because it actually works out well for what I do. Because all that needs to happen is that there's a bit of shrinking going from full to like where about the black line comes in, and that just pops in, and it doesn't detract too much, but it's really cheap. I did that a little bit on old BB, which was the other time I've actually tried to do it. And it's not too bad. I mean, that is effectively what full models do, actual VTuber models, is that they bring the eyelid up and they close and all that. I don't think they often have a whole snap to another eye type. I just do that because that's just what I do. Also, I screwed up this mouth a little bit. There probably should be something right there, but hey, as I say, making a script model is 15 to 20 minutes at best. I've only done it before stream, like, you know, a couple times. I just usually pick in the middle of the week and, like, I throw it together and then the next day I rig it. This one also had the one issue of, like, these tilts are very odd. They look nice on here, but that mouth wants to keep going. And I don't know why it's not applying all the transformation down to the mouth. Because that's staying flat and it's not doing what I need it to do, but it's a script model. I don't care. Also, I don't have the full range. Let me just throw it into physics for a second. I mean, like, what would I do with it? Okay. So, you'll see it on here. I can't really get it to happen. Yeah, there's some... like, this has a lot of zoom in on it. Which is why I said I needed more material on the corner part. So you can go up. It has a body up and body down, but... Actually, is that working? Oh, I don't think I have that set up on here. Yeah, I don't think I got the body position X is working. The body position Y is broken. Okay. But yeah, I don't have a tilt-up angle. As you see on here, the Y, there's nothing on it. Like, do I actually have a recent scrib on here? Like this one, this has a Y. Oh, I was really cheap on this. I didn't even put it on there. Like, this has a look up. It's very subtle, but it has a look up. Usually I will, like, you know, squeeze those in, but I have barely on them sometimes. Like the look X and Y. The TV one, all the stuff was like it's in TV screen, so, you know, bounce all over. Script stump isn't going to work. This one isn't going to have, like, what I want to show. Because this was originally just a little thing that I did and I transformed it to a model rather quickly. Can I open up one of the million I have? Because, I mean, like, I have over... Oh, I only have 30 right now. I never finished that one. What is that one? Which thing do I go with? Nope, nope, I don't need 2 instances of Live 2D. Technology. Okay, I know where it is, so I can load it up. So, cancel. That's just weird. It didn't open in here. So this was the one I used for Siege Perilous. It doesn't show it good. Bop, bop. So hop over here. There we go. So this has a Y up. This is probably my more traditional one. Oh no, I actually don't squish it. Did I have a pot turn off? I'm going to look nuts because I can't find the strange ways I do. Okay, let me see another one. Snake isn't going to have it. Tired might. Oh yeah, I have all my 7-day roguelike ones. They might mildly have it. Okay. Usually, as I said, it's like 15 minutes. I only just barely... Okay, so... Let me select... This doesn't do it. I'll just show what I do. Usually it like goes up and then I do something where I will take like the top part and squish it in a little bit. Did I forget commands? Or is it... Yeah, where I would like do that and then I do that again. But that's only when I go for the top. Seems for a bit I've just been using, you know, the go up and go down stuff. Which is fine. And this is, you know, straight up quick blink. But yeah, yeah. I've actually considered just drawing up and doing a script model at the start of a stream. That would be a thing. But, alas, I haven't done it yet because I haven't committed to the bit. But either way, I guess next week I might do commercial planning. At least it's a project. I don't think I want to program on stream just yet, though. That would be a thing. Maybe. We'll see how I feel next week, but I should be going on to things, so once again, let's close this down. No, I don't want to save. And I will say, have a good time of day, and I will see you next time.